Hi everyone! Welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 7, and this video is for our new novel. It's our second novel of the semester. I'm so excited, so let's get started. So in this video, we'll be going over difficult phrases from our novel. And this is to help with your cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate these phrases to convey their ideas more precisely. So what does that mean? It means you're going to learn some phrases, understand the book better, and even maybe use these phrases in your regular speech. And starting from this week, we'll be going over James and the Giant Peach chapters 1 through 10. So if you don't already, please go ahead and get your book and follow along as we read together. So first, let's go to page 1. Page 1. Dun. And we're going to go to the second paragraph. Everybody follow with me. Then, one day, James's mother and father went to London to do some shopping, and there a terrible thing happened. Both of them suddenly got eaten up, in full daylight, mind you, and on a crowded street, by an enormous angry rhinoceros, which had escaped from the London Zoo. So what does it mean here when it says, mind you? Mind you? Mind you here is a phrase that is used to emphasize something surprising or noteworthy in a sentence. So as you can see, it's in a parentheses already. It's like saying, hey, pay attention to this detail because it's really important and unusual. This phrase is a conversational tool that has been used in English for many years to draw the listener's attention to something significant or unexpected. So in this context, the phrase mind you is used to underline how extraordinary and shocking the event was. For example, being eaten by a rhinoceros is already strange, but in broad daylight and on a crowded street, that's even more unbelievable. And if I am not mistaken, I believe rhinoceroses are herbivores. Can anyone let me know if that's true or not? Send me a little message next time. So that's what it's saying. It's really weird that a rhinoceros would eat them and then in daylight and when there's all these other people around. So mind you. So when can I use this mind you again in regular speech? You can say something like, he finished the marathon in just 3 hours. Mind you, he's 70 years old. Meaning not only was he able to finish a marathon within 3 hours, which is a very short amount of time, but he was also able to finish it at an old age of being 70. Woo! So, mind you. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to page 5. Let me get my book. Page 5. Chapter 1 at the very end. We're going to start on page 4 at the last paragraph, okay? Let's read together. The garden which covered the whole of the top of the hill was large and desolate, and the only tree in the entire place, apart from a clump of dirty old laurel bushes at the far end, was an ancient peach tree that never gave any peaches, meaning it never had any peaches grow on it. There was no swing, no seesaw, no sandpit, and no other children were ever invited to come up the hill to play with poor James. There wasn't so much as a dog or a cat around to keep him company. So what does it mean here? There wasn't so much as. There wasn't so much as. Here, this phrase is used to emphasize the complete absence of something, meaning there's nothing there, none. It highlights that not even the smallest or most common thing, like a dog or a cat, was there. The phrase has been used in English to stress how little or how lacking something is, making it clear that something minimal wasn't there, meaning there is no one there, nothing there to play with James, and James was a very lonely boy. But why this phrase? In this context of the story, it emphasizes how lonely James is by pointing out that there's not even a cat, not even a dog, and not even any friends. So, when can we use this? We can use it something like, she didn't say so much as a word to him all day. Meaning she didn't even say hi. She didn't say any words. Or we can say something like, there wasn't so much as a drop of rain during the drought. Because a drought is when there is no rain and it's very dry. So meaning there wasn't so much, even a drop of rain. Meaning there's no precipitation, no rain whatsoever. So, again here, there wasn't so much as, meaning there is not anything nearby. Okay? Very good. Let's go to our next one. And our next one is page 7. Page 7, and this was part of the song. I'll start from the top. Aunt Sponge had a long-handled mirror on her lap, and she kept picking it up and gazing at her own hideous face. I look and smell, Aunt Sponge declared, as lovely as a rose. Just feast your eyes upon my face, observe my shapely nose. Behold my heavenly silky locks, and if I take off both my socks, you'll see my dainty toes. So Aunt Sponge here is just kind of like looking at herself in the mirror and just saying this to herself. But she's trying to really say that she's so beautiful and so pretty. But let's look at these little idioms here. First it says, feast your eyes. Feast your eyes, this phrase means to look at something with great pleasure or admiration, as if your eyes are enjoying a feast. So here it says, look at me. And then next we have a little feast here. There's like lots of food and different things. So when you say feast your eyes, you're saying, hey, look at how great I look, because I look like a feast, something that everyone wants. The idea of feasting, but your eyes, comes from the notion of indulging in something pleasurable, just as one might indulge in a feast of food, meaning they'll hum, yum, 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 yum. It's used to make the act of looking sound more dramatic and enjoyable, implying that what you're seeing is so wonderful, it's like a feast. It's like a great spread of food. Some examples. So when can we use this? You can say, feast your eyes on this beautiful sunset or sunrise. So say that's very pretty and the sky is so pretty. You say, everyone feast your eyes on the sky. So look at it and let your eyes enjoy the beautiful sights. The next one, it says heavenly locks. But is this like locks, like a car key lock or something from heaven? Locks here refers to strands of hair. And heavenly locks means beautiful, luxurious hair that is so beautiful. So locks has been used as a poetic term for hair for many, many years. The word heavenly adds the sense of perfection or such godly beauty. The phrase here is more poetic in describing that just the hair is just super pretty. So here, Aunt Sponge is saying, behold, look at my heavenly locks, look at my beautiful hair. So when can we use this? You can say he admired her dark flowing locks, meaning he really liked her beautiful hair. Or her golden locks shone in the sunlight, meaning her bright blonde hair was so bright and shiny in the sunlight. Yes, I have heavenly black locks. Beautiful black hair. So let's go to the next one. But as we saw here, feast your eyes, meaning looking at something so beautiful, and heavenly locks, meaning beautiful hair. Let's go to page 11. And let's go from the very top. No, let's go to page 10, the last paragraph. It says, the old man hobbled a step or two near, and then put a hand into the pocket of his jacket, took out a small white paper bag. You see this? He whispered, waving the bag gently to and fro in front of James's face. You know what this is, my dear? You know what's inside this little bag? And he's going back and forth with it. You know what's in here? So, with my little hint from my hand, what do you think to and fro means? To and fro means moving back and forth. As you can see down there, back and forth. From one place to another repeatedly. To and fro. So, the phrase comes from Old English where fro is a common word meaning from. So, long time ago, they didn't use the word from, they used the word fro in Old English. The phrase has been used for many, many years to describe a repetitive pendulum-like of motion. So if I were to go like this, everyone, the remote is going to and fro. To and fro, back and forth. So here, this phrase is used just to show a vivid picture and describe the motion of the bag moving back and forth, back and forth. So when can you use this phrase? The phrase to and fro, you can use it when you're on a boat and you can say, oh, the boat rocked to and fro in the waves, so I felt a bit sick. Or you can say the child swung to and fro on the swing at the playground. So back and forth. Okay, try to use this one. This one's not a hard one for you guys to try. To and fro. Let's go to page 17 to 18. You may already know this, but we're going to go over it anyways. We're going to start from the very beginning of page 17, and it says, a peach, right up there on the highest branch. Can't you see it? I think you must be mistaken, my dear Spiker. That miserable tree never has any peaches on it. There's one on it now, Sponge. Look for yourself. You're teasing me, Spiker. You're making my mouth water on purpose when there's nothing to put into it. Why, that tree's never even had a blossom on it, let alone a peach. So here, making my mouth water. As you can tell from the picture right next to me, you already probably can tell that making my mouth water means that you're drooling. It means that it's so appetizing or appealing that it makes you physically start to salivate, meaning you have a bit of drool or spit in your mouth because you want to eat it. So the phrase comes from the natural human reaction of salivating with the spit when you see or smell something that you really want. So, you know, in Korea also, when we see like a beautiful picture of I don't know, chocolate cake, a lot of people go, what was that? It was us swallowing the spit that happened to come up in our mouth because we're thinking or looking at the beautiful chocolate cake. So, this phrase is used metaphorically to describe how tempting or desirable something is, even if it's not food. But here, they're saying, wow, Spiker, you're making my mouth water because you're making me think about a delicious peach on there. So when can we use this? We can say, oh, just thinking about lunch makes my mouth water. Maybe you were so hungry and you wanted to eat. Or on the pictures below, when I think about sushi or ramen, my mouth starts to water. What is something that makes your mouth start to water? Maybe you can also write that down on your mission paper just to let me know. Yum. Page 18, we're going to continue where I stopped, okay? It says, why that's at the very top, why that tree's never even had a blossom on it, let alone a peach. Right up on the highest branch, you say? I can't see a thing. Very funny. Ha ha. Good gracious me! Well, I'll be blowed. There really is a peach up there. A nice big one too, Aunt Spiker said. So here, well, I'll be blowed. What does that mean? This phrase is an expression to use surprise, disbelief, or maybe just saying, wow, I'll be darned, or wow, I can't believe it. This is a British colloquialism that has been used for many, many years. The idea of being blowed or blown, like the wind, likely comes from the imagery of being blown away by something surprising. You're like, whoa, right? And you kind of move back when you hear something surprising. So it's like you're being blown away by the wind. So here, this phrase is used because it's a colorful way to express astonishment and to use a lighthearted or humorous way. So as you can see here, there's this person here with his mind being because of something so shocking. The woman next to it is saying, oh my goodness, and then I put some wind there to show you that it's being blown away. So when can we use this? It says, well, I'll be blown. I didn't expect to see you here. So maybe I haven't been at MI for a while, but then you can see, and then you saw me in the hallway. You're like, oh, well, I'll be blown, Miss Kimberly. What are you doing here? I'm so surprised. I'll be blowed. Or when you go fishing and then you catch like a super, super, super gigantic fish, you can say, oh, I'll be blowed if that isn't the biggest fish I've ever seen. Like, that's such a big fish. I'll be blowed. Very good. Let's go to page 24. Now let's look at the second paragraph in chapter 8. Are you ready? Quickly, Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker called in the carpenters and had them build a strong fence around the peach to save it from the crowd. And at the same time, these two crafty women stationed themselves at the front gate with a large bunch of tickets and started charging everyone for coming in. Roll up, Aunt Spiker yelled. Only 1 shilling to see the giant peach. Half price for children under 6 weeks old, Aunt Sponge shouted. What does it mean here, roll up? Am I rolling up a kimbap? No. This does not mean to roll up a kimbap. But here, roll up is a call for people to come closer, or to come gather around. Often used by street vendors or showmen to attract a crowd. So you can, say that we're at on the beach and there's a singer, everyone can be, hey, roll up, there's a singer here. This phrase comes from the old practice of rolling up to an event or gathering in carriages or on foot. It became associated with drawing people's attention to something. It's an energetic and attention-grabbing way to encourage people to come and see something. You say, roll up, this is the greatest show, come on up. Or, roll up everyone, the parade's about to start. Just trying to just get everyone's attention to come in. So what are Aunt Spiker and Aunt Sponge doing here? They're trying to get everybody to come and look at the giant peach. But not only are they trying to have them roll up, not really like rolling like this, but come. What is 1 shilling? A shilling is a form of British money, equivalent to, I'm not quite sure. 1 shilling refers to the cost of admission to come see the giant peach. So here they used it, and then I don't think they really use a shilling anymore. From my research, it said that they stopped around the 1970s or early 1970s. So here, it also shows us that this story was from a long time ago, right? We don't use a shilling right now in 2024. So here, why do we use the word shilling? Not only was it showing us the currency and the money that they use, but it's also giving a sense of time period for that time. So now we know when the story was kind of taking place. It wasn't yesterday. So we don't really use the shilling word anymore, so we'll skip that part. So roll up, come on. And shilling is a coin that they used a long time ago. Let's go to 26. This was another rolling, but again, different. Let's go to page 26. And I'll start from the second indent. Ready? It says, it'll cost you double to bring in a camera, Aunt Spiker shouted. All right, they answered. We don't care. And the money came rolling into the pockets of the 2 greedy aunts. So what does it mean here that the money came rolling? As you can tell from my pictures, this phrase means that the money was coming in quickly and abundantly, meaning a lot at one time. Almost as if it was effortlessly just rolling into their pockets. as if it was just coming in. They didn't have to do anything. The phrase uses imagery to describe how easily and continuously money was being made by everyone coming to pay money to look at the peach. It's a vivid way to describe the greed of the aunts and how they were profiting and how much money that they were getting from just having people look at the giant peach. Here, the money came rolling in as an example of a metaphor, comparing the flow of money to something rolling effortlessly. So, you can just say, so when can we use this? You can say the more popular the show became, the more the money rolled into their accounts. So maybe like for people who made the TV show. It just kept on coming in and coming in. I wish money kept rolling into my pockets. Maybe I need to get a giant peach to show people and charge 1 shilling, right? And page 31. It says, look who's here. We're going to start from the very top. Then he noticed that there was a small door cut into the face of the peach stone. He gave a push. It swung open. So this is the peach seed, right? He crawled through it, and before he had time to glance up and see where he was, he heard a voice saying, look who's here. And another one said, we've been waiting for you. Look who's here. Look at my picture here. Look, 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 look. Look who's here. What does this mean? This phrase is used to also draw attention to someone's arrival with a sense of surprise or excitement. It's a common expression in English used to acknowledge and welcome someone who has just arrived, sometimes with a sense of a pleasant surprise. It's a way to make someone feel noticed and important upon arrival, and it could be used in both casual and formal contexts. You can say, wow, look who's here. We weren't expecting you. Or, wow, look who's here. It's great to see you. I've used this phrase a few times. For example, at MI, I thought one of my students was absent that day because I got a notice saying that they're absent. But then after the bell a few minutes later, they came into the door and I said, whoa, look who's here. Blah, blah is here to join us today. And it means that we're all looking at who it was, and it's kind of drawing attention because we didn't know that that person was coming that day. So look who's here. Okay? So say that maybe we also bumped into each other at, I don't know, Shinsege at the mall. You can say, wow, look who's here, Miss Kimberly. I'm so surprised to see you. And be like, oh, look who's here. We can both say it to each other. Woo, that was a lot of different phrases this week. Mission time. How are the crocodile tongues prepared? Provide a page number. So this one has quite a few steps and quite a few things for you to write. I'm curious to see who is going to do this mission because it's a lot of writing here. So how are the crocodile tongues prepared? And then what if you're watching this and you're like, crocodile tongues? What is Miss Kimberly talking about? That means you need to read the book a bit more closely again. So now, it's time for review and self-study. This is for contextual mastery, so please review all of the phrases again. Maybe rewatch the video, read it out loud, and also reread the novel where these phrases came from to fully understand, or maybe just read it all again. And then you can complete your novel homework. Please, please, please don't forget to do the mission and put it at the front desk. I will be coming in still. I'm writing your names on the mission papers and giving 5 MI dollars. Okay? So thank you for joining me again. I'm so happy that you did, and I'll see you guys next week.